Hi, good afternoon. So today we want to look at neckline finishes, or how we treat the necklines of our garments that we make. Generally, if you're working with any dress or blouse or yeah, it's usually lined like this dress I have here. It has a lining all over it. So the neckline doesn't need any extra work except put in the lining, and they use it to clean the neckline. Another kind of neckline finish is called a facing. This one has no lining. It's not, they didn't line the whole thing, but see, this is facing. It's partially, okay, just put in to create a cleanup for the neckline. The front, let me see, the front has its own neckline finishing here. So we call these neckline finishes. Sometimes it's extended to cover or take care of the armhole also. But these things, let me turn the inside out so you can see. These are called facings, okay? Facing. And we use either lining or the facing to finish the neckline. Now, in some cases, like a t-shirt or a stretch fabric, they can just fold the neckline. This is one with a boat neckline. They just folded the top, and because it stretches, it would work. You can just turn it over and stitch it. So the finishing is really just a turnover. It's not an extra facing or fabric like lining or facing. So we're going to learn how to actually cut a facing to clean the round edge. This is a round neckline I have, and I'm going to show you. First of all, you fold it along the center front, and we're going to cut the facing. So let me, here we go. Okay, so round neckline. I'm going to use a different fabric so you can see the difference, the contrast. So this is a round neckline. I'm going to fold it to have the center front in the middle, and the attention is all on how to clean up or finish that neckline. I'm going to use a muslin here. Also folded. Okay, it's important that they all match the size of the neck. But see, the center front is here. I create a fold on the muslin to also mimic that. So that is taken care of. I can actually put a pin in there just to make sure it stays. So I have, let me bring it a little higher so I don't waste fabric. And I have my neck, middle of the neck seated over there. And then, as you can see, I don't have the facing fabric all the way through the sleeve. It can end in the middle of the shoulder, and that's fine. Okay, so generally, I'm just going to cut along this edge here, and then follow the slant of the shoulder. I don't need to mark it because I'll be cutting it, but the depth is usually what you have to attend to. If you make it too short, the turning will be tough. It will be difficult. So I'm going to go at least 3 inches below the neckline for, okay, 3 inches below the neckline for my curve. And I will end right here also. So if I should lift this, you can literally see the marking of it. But I'll keep it there, and I'll scoop the shoulder off and then follow the neckline exactly. And then when I finish, I'm going to lift the marking that I made was down as you can see, down to 3 inches in the center front. And then, okay, so it just follows. This is a round neckline. It follows the same way. It's not like a square or anything. It kind of mimics the trajectory of the neckline. So this is the blouse neckline, and this is the facing. We position the facing on the blouse itself on the right side. Okay, this looks similar, so I can choose any side as the right side. But when you have a fabric that clearly shows you a right side, I would say this is the right side. I'll position it. Make sure your facing is also right side to right side, and you pin. And then I'll show you how the sewing is done. And you pin. Make sure it matches. Neckline is matching really well. And I pin vertically because when I'm stitching, I don't want it to shift. I don't want it to shift off mine. So in the next stitch, you're going to see the sewing.